Welcome to 5 Pints In, the show where we're literally 5 pints in. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See, you got another Smirnoff Ice there in a Stella bottle. That joke's getting a bit stale.
It was a real lid.
So anyway, speaking of bottles of beer, though, it's been going around on the internet. A little birdie told me that
That's rhyming slang for you two.
You don't know how to chug a pint, or not a pint, a bottle even.
I don't know how.
It's not that you don't know how. It took, what was it, like 5 minutes and 35 seconds or something?
Exact. What was you doing, timing it?
Well, I put the video together.
Yeah, you did, yeah. Well, I put the first one together.
Yeah.
You pair
I'm surprised you had that much data on your phone.
I'll tell you what happened, right? I've been nominated, right, obviously to do it, from a West Ham fan. And I went, yeah, of course I'll do it. It's for a great cause and all that. You know, I don't know if you've seen Little Isla Kate and the Little West Ham fan she is. You know, it's to raise money. It's been going on for, I don't know, a few months now. And, you know, raising money, doing all sorts of different things to get the money together. And I said, yeah, of course I'll do it. And then I thought I'll do it on my first one when I go out. And then when I got out, I said, oh, it's not right. It doesn't feel right. So I had a couple first. And I should have made it easier, really, shouldn't I? Yeah. But because I did it from a bottle, when you're chugging the bottle, I don't even know why I'm trying to explain myself to you. Because I've been drinking a lot longer than you two, and I was actually the man who taught you how to drink.
You've been drinking a lot longer, but you've had less beers.
You're six.
You're still on your sixth.
Anyway, fuck off. Oh, what had happened was, so I'd done it, and I thought it was a decent video. Not bad, not your regular, but not bad. And then I went to bed that night, and then I realised that the tweet I'd sent out, because I had to do it for you, didn't I?
Yeah.
I couldn't do it from my phone because the video was too long.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it into my computer. You know what? Now I think about it, you're probably right. Well, the video was too long, so I couldn't do it through my phone. And I couldn't sort my computer out. It's been doing my head in, so I think somebody's got into it. I don't know. But, so I go to sleep because I was playing golf. I was getting up at 6:30 to go and play golf in the morning, on Sunday morning. And I just jumped up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I thought, shit. I didn't explain why I did it, what it was for. So I just said nominate 4 people.
Yeah. And
I'm thinking, I'm going to wake up to, maybe I'm on the news in England, taking the piss out of everybody, being stuck in. And I was just doing it just to be in the pub and drink beer.
Yeah.
So something in my subconscious when I was asleep woke me up. And that's when I had to retweet it again.
Yeah.
At 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I probably...
It looked bad, you know?
I probably should have asked, and I thought I did ask. I said, what do you want me to say? And you said nothing.
I did tell you what to say. I told you what to say, but I forgot to hashtag Isla's fight.
Yeah.
Or to put in down a pint for Isla.
Yeah.
I just forgot. And then I had to retweet at 3 o'clock in the morning because I was worried that I was going to be out there in England. I'm taking the piss out of the UK.
Yeah.
Being in a pub by the water, necking a beer in one.
Yeah.
Over a long period of time.
Threatening to sink a Sea-Doo.
Oh, he was doing me head in, mate. What a knobhead. He was doing me head in.
Yeah.
He was just coming by really slow, revving it up.
Yeah.
I ended up shouting him at one point, shouting at him.
He's putting you off.
Well, he obviously didn't know what he was doing. He was just being noisy. He was wanting attention. And
yeah.
I think it was right after I did that pint.
Yeah.
I lost it and shouted on. Anyway.
So, anyway, at least the whole world knows how long it takes for you to chug a beer.
Right.
And it seems like you've challenged us. So when you come up...
mate, I'll drink his under the table. You know that for a fact.
So next episode we do where you're up here, which will be Not the next one, but I think the one after, when you're up.
20 pints in, we'll do.
We'll do a special episode, 20 pints in.
And it'll just be me on my own. You two will be asleep.
Yeah, because it'll be the next day, and you'll still be finishing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really nice video, and I didn't want to undermine that by making the funny edit as funny as it was, but it was a really nice video, and it was, I think it was good that you did that, even if it did take that long. But I think it got more attention from how long it took you to drink that beer. So
you got more follows, more likes, and all that than I did from the actual
No,
video.
I'm saying the campaign. The
right.
I'm saying hopefully people notice.
It's always like a direct competition.
No.
Your video and my video.
Yeah, no. I was doing the video. It's our video, isn't it? So, anyway, the Premier League's back June 17th, right? We've been waiting for this for however many months, and it's coming back June 17th. I believe they're just waiting on one final confirmation for it, but they've set the matches for June 17th, that Wednesday, and there's 2 games on that Wednesday. One of them is Man City Arsenal, my club.
Don't want to come back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do they ever want to come back though? I mean,
no. If you look at Arteta's record, mate, I think they've only lost 7 games. I know I'm not happy with them, but they're not doing the worst. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that. And when we signed Coutinho, if all the other 12 teams don't want him, it might be different. Well, look, it's Arteta and Pep, isn't it? So there's a bit of interest there.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Arteta. I really like him, obviously.
I do too, mate.
And
I do too. I just don't.
I like how he's sort of implementing his own strategy as well. He's not just tried to go out and sort of cookie cutter Pep's philosophy, really. Yeah. I think his ideas had a lot to do with Man City's success last season. Yeah. You saw Pep listening to him quite a lot of the time on the bench. I think as genius as Pep is, I think he
just gets tired of talking sometimes.
Maybe. I mean, I think Arteta had a lot of input,
Yeah, I mean that's what I was waiting to see when he did go into management on his own. I was waiting to see what philosophies he was going to implement into Arsenal. Obviously, it's not going to be easy ever to copy Man City, is it?
No, you need the players first of all.
And to copy Pep. Yeah. Because he doesn't have the players at his disposal that Pep does.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if Arteta took over maybe 2-3 years ago when they had the whole, you had Ozil, Ramsey, Wilshere, and you had Giroud up front, all people that could play, great one-touch football, and he could actually implement.
Con, can you move that microphone thing up, because I can still see some of your face. No, what I'm trying to say is it's in the way. You need to move it down.
So
the complete opposite.
Yeah, the complete opposite.
Just move this, dude. Don't move the mic.
That's straight like that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's better. Son.
I think. Yeah. I mean. Look. I think Arsenal will give them a chance to rebuild, though. I think Arsenal will give them a chance to get the players in. I think they have to, because they're sitting 9th right now in the table. That's not where Arsenal want to be. No,
but he hasn't done bad though.
No, not at all.
He's coming to a squad that was left by Unai Emery or whoever it is that buys the players, which we don't know anymore.
Yeah,
I think they're all bought online these days.
Yeah.
Like, it's all going to turn into FIFA. Like when Formula One, because we stopped it all, and they could still race each other on the Xbox or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think football will eventually just be played on the
virtually.
Xbox. Yeah, I think so, because look, that's the way it's gone anyway, isn't it? Because people are getting bought by their stats. So, I mean, looking at Arsenal, it's why Granit Xhaka goes into the left-back position, gives it to someone else, and asks them to do the harder thing, because his passing accuracy builds up when he hasn't given the ball away.
But then he's back there arguing with Ozil. He's like, get out my spot, I'm the left back.
They're both in the same bunker.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing with that's why I had such high hopes for VAR and stuff like implemented like that, because, like you just said, people are based off their stats, and not everyone has.
It's internet football now.
Exactly.
Football.
It's the same thing with.
It's same thing with tackles. He makes this many interceptions.
Exactly.
This many crosses.
Same thing with any anything, any sport, music, whatever. It's people don't have enough time to listen to everything, so they just they don't do their research. They look what's right in front of them and they use that as fact. And they go, "Oh, Sergio Busquets is one of the best midfielders ever because of his stats. Xhaka's doing well because of his stats." It's like, fuck off.
I think we're just fascinated with data now, aren't we? I mean,
fair enough. Yeah, with the heart monitors and how much they run.
Look back at like World War II. You know, to compare football to a battle, to a war. In World War II, they didn't have all this big data, and there was still success there, and there was still strategies implemented without this data. So it has changed now that we've got this technology coming in, and I think ultimately, like, maybe a century down the line, maybe it will just be virtual. Maybe it'll be robots out there.
I don't think it'll be ever virtual, but
I mean, I just think at the pace it's going, I think we will step back eventually, and maybe this.
Let's go back to Subbuteo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, not in our lifetime, but the sport's changing because the world is changing, and I think
it could change for the better.
Yeah, but it's going to take a few wrong turns first, I think.
Yeah, which I'm willing. That's how I feel about VAR. I'm fine sitting here and having all the cock ups that it's doing, because it will have us learn from our mistakes. You know, we can only do so wrong before, like you just said, you can only make 3 wrong turns before you make a right turn or whatever, 3 left turns or whatever.
I mean, I didn't say that.
No, I know, but that's it's the same. It's the same.
3 wrong turns make a right.
No, it's 3 left turns make a right turn. It's essentially the same thing.
Get delivered.
It's essentially the same thing. I'm saying we can only mess up so much until we finally.
As long as we're learning from it.
Exactly, because it came in and it was a big thing. Goal line technology was a huge thing, and now it's like it was the same thing with hockey. You know, like that. It's like as soon as it passes the goal, and then now it's like that's the norm.
Yeah,
for
but
us.
we
used to have a guy in the Champions League stand at the edge of the goal. With
I think we
with
still
a baton.
do. I'm pretty sure we still do. I don't think they're using goal line technology in Champions League. I don't think they're using it this season. I don't think so.
Of course they have. Those people have fucked off for like at least 2 years.
I don't think so, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I swear on my life.
I think we're still using the 5th or 6th or whatever official on the goal line.
No.
Look it up.
No, it's got to be on the ref's watch. It's got to be that.
It is.
I don't think so. It was either... Okay, then last season we definitely had the goal line. No, I'm telling you.
It's been at least 2-3 years.
I'm going to look it up and we'll figure it out later. But
get the researcher to do it.
I honestly think...
I'm telling you, UEFA was so staunchly against that technology.
Yeah.
I mean, they were... I'm telling you, I mean, there's no use arguing about it when we can just look it up. But I truly think if they're still not using it, they were using it last season.
No.
All right. Well, we'll look it up anyway.
I don't think in the Europa League either.
Yeah.
Move on.
So,
by the way, quality shirt.
Thank you.
Well, I remember it well.
Yeah.
And I never got to keep that one.
No.
No, back in the day we couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Man City couldn't afford to have spare shirts.
Your wages couldn't. You couldn't go down to the shop and buy one yourself.
Well, no, not the original.
It's the
the original, you know.
The Man United, the 5-1 Demolition Derby shirt, isn't it?
That's what it was, son. Yeah.
You wore number 4 that season.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Peter Reid took the shirt when I left.
Yeah. So did he He probably kept that shirt.
Yeah, he probably got it at the end of the season. Yeah, at the end of the season we could have took it, but because I moved in December, I think it was, didn't get to keep the shirt. It's weird when you think about it now, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That there couldn't have been another shirt made.
Yeah, I know. I mean, because now how many shirts do they get? They get a new shirt every game, 2 new shirts. It's something ridiculous.
They
don't have the same value on them, though. I'll tell you that.
No, not at all.
Unless it's Messi's. One of Messi's millions.
I mean, there's still... I mean, who was that in the World Cup? I completely forgot. I think some Middle Eastern team in the World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
They had to go and buy their shirts. That's why all the players had different like styles of font on the back. For the life of me, I cannot remember. I'm gonna say I don't want to even say the wrong country because I'm gonna sound like an idiot. You know.
I remember professional. If this was professional, we'd have a script.
Yeah, but
if it was professional, we'd have a script.
Yeah, but if it was professional, we'd be on Sky Sports or one of those networks, and we're not. We're sitting here drinking beers, just talking shit.
5 pints in on Sky Sports.
Yeah, you know, we guess our stats. We don't go by big data. We just guess them.
I don't. Never mind. I was going to bring up something ridiculous. Go on.
So that's okay.
No, no, I was just going to bring up... You said Sky Sports, and I saw something earlier about...
We're advertising everybody else on here. fellas.
I think they know Sky Sports.
Yeah. No, I didn't want to.
And plus, they're paying us $1 million to plug them. So
there was 2 ex-footballers. I didn't want to call them out or anything. Talking about, and there was just this discussion about who would you rather have, Marnie and Sterling, and they did. You could tell. I'm not going to call out who they are. Not that they fucking listen to this or anything, but and then they gave that all. Oh, that's a difficult decision right there, and it's kind of.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those that. So that's why I didn't want to even bring it up, because we're not even going to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't think we need to get into it.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, no, you're the one I came back to.
One question I have for you, Dad, is Man City, Arsenal, and this might upset Man City fans, but who do you go with, like, truly deep down, with the positions they're in? Or maybe just in general?
I go with the footballing team.
Yeah, Man City.
Because at the end of the day, I'm a football fan.
Yeah.
You know, you'll have an allegiance to the team that I grew up supporting, which was Arsenal. I didn't get to many games. I didn't get to any games at the old Highbury until I went and played there. So, as a supporter in that sense, I'm not your real football fan in that sense.
Yeah.
But I'm loyal because I stick with the team that I supported since I was 6 years old. So I'm still an Arsenal fan. But the love you have for the teams that you play for is different. So being a fan, just your fan, this is your hometown team, you stick with it for life. Because I was a player and moved about, there's a different love that you have for the teams that you play for, which is why I think we laughed on the first podcast that we did, that I said I support Carlisle, Everton, Bournemouth, Man City, because you do. You have this love and these memories, which is different to being a fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, just to elaborate a little further, to actually have played alongside one of my heroes from the team I supported as a child was something that you can't replace.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just Liam Brady to be alongside him in a couple of games before he retired for West Ham meant more to me than anything, really. You know, I mean, you know, I've been asked. I think Russ has messaged you a couple of times.
Yeah.
To do my West Ham 11.
Yeah.
And I've told him I'll do it Monday, but I won't pick an 11. I'm probably going to ruin his podcast by not doing it. But
would you put Brady in there? Just
well, I only played like 7 or 8 games. So is it the best players you played with, or is it the players you played longer with, or you know?
I think at that point you got to the prime West Ham game. You know, you can't be like.
Well, he wasn't at his prime, was he, when he played for West Ham?
My point exactly.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you know, look, I'm gonna do the podcast on Monday, and it'll be different.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, you know. I mean, I couldn't look. Let's say I was going to go 2 places up front: Clive Allen, Frank McAvenny, Tony Cottee, Trevor Morley.
Yeah. How do you pick?
And that's not all of them. Johnny Hartson, Paul Kitson.
Yeah.
You know, there's.
But now you're backing yourself into a hole again because you're going to miss out one.
Make an 11 of each position.
This brings up a good point because you were asked when we were on the Manchester's Blue podcast the other week. You were asked your five teammates you would pick as your drinking team, and drinking team, and you said afterwards, as soon as we got off, you said, "I've missed out one of the best ones."
I missed Kev Orlock, I missed Kev Orlock, and I shouldn't have. And I felt bad, and that's even just a 5 drinking team.
Yeah, 5.
So imagine what I'm going to be like picking an 11. You know, as players. I mean, look, the problem I have to the other players who've already done it. I was there longer.
Yeah,
I was there amongst more players. You know, if I'd have just been there 2 years or something like that, I probably could have easily picked an 11.
Yeah, but the players that came and went.
Yeah, so many players came and went. And little Marshy, look, I'm good friends I am with Mike. And what a superb footballer. But could he be in there before Johnny Monks or Martin Allen or Butts or, you know, Georgie Paris or who was, who spent 12 years at the club, you know?
Well, I think I think if it was
I just don't think it's fair. I just don't think it's fair.
But if it was an easy question, people wouldn't ask it, you know? I think that's the whole point. You know, it's meant to put you in a...
It does throw me off as well, but at least I'm honest and I said, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't say, no, I'm not doing a podcast. I said, no, I'm not
Can't
picking
do the 11, yeah. It's funny...
I don't mind talking about players I played with.
Yeah.
Because, you know, look, I did talk sport and I did a Premier League 11 and I got to thinking, and even that...
You did today's Premier League 11?
No, who I played against. And we'd already, in a past podcast, named, when we did the Gascoigne thing, who's better than Gascoigne.
Yeah.
And then I could think of, I could have picked 3 teams, maybe, and still left people out of the players that played against him through the 80s and 90s. This
is exactly my point about how the whole Gascoigne thing came about.
Yeah, well, you know. I just when you're talking about your friends, it's a little bit different, you know.
Yeah. You're a little biased.
You know what I mean? And it's awkward. You know, I played. Look, you play for nine years, 300 and something games. Players come and go, and there's certain players you like for certain reasons, and others for other reasons.
Yeah.
Some football, some non-football.
Like you know. Like you could have had I remember. Oh, what's his name? I can't for the life of me remember his name. Someone you played with at Miami Fusion. I know you like playing with Sneaky Pete.
Yeah, he didn't play enough games.
I know,
mate,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I know.
Because he'd done his cruciate ligament, so...
I can't for the life of me think of his name, but I remember you saying you and him just clicked. Like, as soon as you got the ball, he just made a run, whether you were looking at him or not, and you knew he was going to make a certain type of run. And it's one of those kind of biased situations. Like, would they fit in your 11 just because they played with you better, or because they're a better player? You know, he could have not been as good of a player, but meshed with you better. You know. And
you're right. Yeah, but you're relating that to my time at West Ham, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I can't remember the Miami Fusion.
Yeah. Well. Look, the thing I had was like I didn't have much time with Frankie Mack. It was like a year, 18 months, whatever, and it was my best mate away from the field, you know, to the extent where his last game was Nottingham Forest at home, right? Des Walker, lightning, and Frank come on at half time. Billy had left him out. It was his last game. We knew he was leaving, and it was his last game. Billy had left him out, put him on a bench. He come on half time. Des Walker, England centre half. Lightning. I mean, as far as the second centre back in anybody's team, sweeping round, covering, lightning. Frankie scored a hat trick in the second half, right? During the game, I think we're 2-0 up. Me and Frank, somebody's got injured, and I've gone over and I'm standing by Frank. We've got our arms around each other and talking, and then your Uncle Tim and Uncle Terry were in the stands, right?
Yeah.
And after the game, we went in the players' lounge, and Tim had said to Terry, they'd heard somebody in front of them say, "Look at Bishop and McAvenny. I bet they're talking about where they're going after the game." That was the exact thing we were talking about on the pitch. While someone was down injured, me and Frank are standing there going, "Where do you think we should go? Should we go to Safford? Should we go Stringfellas?" They nailed it on the head, you know.
That's funny.
Yeah, perfect. But you see, someone like him, and then we've got Trev, who we've already had on the show, who, you know, I have an immense love for. Not a man love.
Yeah.
But I have a love for, you know.
A man's love, an immense love.
An immense, not a man's love. But you know that anyway, don't you?
Yeah.
Look, and I was thinking about it after he left. I wasn't thinking about him. But I think I care, because of the incident and because of the shit we went through, I think I care for him more as a friend because I wanted him to be okay.
And you went through it together?
Yeah. Well, we didn't, but I wanted to... I didn't think he was strong enough to deal with it, to be fair. To deal with the shit we were getting. But I think we became closer because I sort of, although he's older than me, I became the one that dealt with it better.
Yeah.
It helps when you're not the one who's stabbed as well. but somebody actually put on Twitter, didn't he? Somebody tweeted me and went, "Oh, do you remember me from back in the day at West Ham? My nickname was Daggers." And I mean, funny enough, that's what I used to call Seth.
Yeah.
I didn't get any likes for it, though. I didn't get any likes for it. So my comedy's only liked by me.
Yeah.
Maybe you just repeating yourself because you said that last episode as well.
Sorry? Oh, cheers. But how do you do that and then have Tony Cottee, somebody that you know, as soon as you had time on the ball or he trusted you enough to know that you were going to turn it round the corner or put it in behind.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he would go and finish, because when you're not a goal scorer, have we said this before? When you're a creative midfield player, so to speak, you only notice when people put the chances away that you create.
Yeah.
Because if they miss them, people forget your pass.
Well, you know what?
Unless it's Kevin De Bruyne.
You know what? We've had this conversation actually about De Bruyne not being recognised for the passes he makes because they're not goals and they don't count as goals unless they're an assist. But
can't we go back to me though?
Some of his assists.
We're now we're almost comparing you to De Bruyne, so you should soak it up and run with it.
I don't mind finishing second out of two there, mate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'll finish second best out of them. I don't mind.
Yeah. I was going
to... Anyway, that's... Look, we've plugged Russ's podcast.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. What I was going to say, though, it's funny how it lined up with you playing with Liam Brady, because that wasn't his original club, was it? It was...
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he hadn't played for West Ham before that, and you were from up north, you were from Liverpool supporting Arsenal, which is... So it's just a funny coincidence that, you linked up in, East London at West Ham and got to play with them, so it's just funny how it works out.
You know what I found out, mate? I spoke to somebody, and I was talking about the first ever game I went to. My brother Howard took me to, and I thought I was about 9 years old.
Yeah,
it was Bill Shankly's testimonial, right? And it was 1970, I think, right?
Yeah.
And I googled the team sheet of Liverpool against like an international 11. And Liam Brady's name was on the team sheet. And I was thinking I was about 9 years old, because me and your Uncle Mike was in the boys' pen in the Cop. What was that?
That math doesn't add up.
No, what I'm saying, I was only 4 years old.
Yeah.
6.
It was...
No.
I was born in 65. That was 1970. But it was before May. It was April 1970.
Yeah.
So I was still 4 years old. And I'm thinking 9 years old. Getting passed down in the Cop over people's heads from the boys' pen to sit on my brother's shoulders and watch Bill Shankly's testimonial. So I must have been just before my 5th birthday.
Yeah. And Liam Brady did play?
I honestly don't know if he did, mate. But I know he was on... When I Googled it, his name was on the team sheet. Now, he must have been about 17, 18.
Yeah.
17, 18. But I'm sure he made his Arsenal debut when he was around about that age anyway,
Yeah. When was the first time you played Arsenal, like, ever? And was it home, was it away, and do you remember it? Like,
Highbury.
Yeah.
It was Highbury. I know because my dad lived in London for 17 years.
Yeah.
Grandad Bob lived in London for 17
years.
Did
he?
Yeah, and he was an Arsenal fan, yeah.
I didn't know that.
And he stood at the big clock end.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. Obviously, growing up being an Arsenal fan, he would tell me about it,
Yeah.
It was his time in London because your Uncle Terry and John are from Hackney,
Yeah.
So from Grandad Bob's first marriage, it was. Second marriage, maybe. But it wasn't, I wasn't an Arsenal fan because of that. I found out after that.
Yeah.
That my dad, because when I talk about Arsenal, he would say, I used to stand at the clock end. And now the clock's at the new stadium, isn't it? The Emirates.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I just remember being there. I remember having this lovely feeling about the place, And I actually won there 3 years on the spin.
Who were you?
West Ham.
You were playing for West Ham the first time you went there?
No, I played with Man City, the first time I went there.
Yeah.
Destroyed.
You got destroyed?
Well, the team got destroyed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen a picture of the yellow kit. It was the one and only day we wore a yellow kit.
I know the kit, yeah.
Well, we'll tweet it out.
Yeah,
I know people have got it. But I have a nice picture where me and Dave Rocastle are on the same picture.
Yeah.
And he was an absolute legend, mate.
Yeah, send me the picture and we'll get it out.
I will do, mate. Yeah, I mean, we're not obviously standing together. We're not both on the same picture.
Yeah.
But the kit didn't last long.
No.
You obviously don't have that jersey.
Yeah.
I think people are still looking for it now. But,
yeah.
Not only that, there was an Icelandic player who played for him that broke my nose.
Really?
He broke my nose. I had 2 stitches under my eye as well.
Jesus.
And we lost 4-0.
Oh.
And Michael Thomas, who went on to play for Liverpool, battered me that day.
Really?
Absolutely battered me, yeah.
I
don't mind being honest.
Yeah. Did you go into that game like thinking, oh, this is Arsenal, this is my team I'm playing against, or was it just another...
Yeah, but don't forget I'd made my debut that season at Anfield.
Yeah.
Wearing that shirt that you've got on.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as intimidating as I thought it might be when it came up.
Yeah.
It was just a nice fuzzy feeling in my belly, you know?
Yeah.
And there was a different time when I did go to Highbury, and it's well documented my hero was Charlie George. So from that 71 Cup final when I became an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
And me and Johnny Monks were injured. And we decided we were going to have a couple of scoops before the game. And we went into one of the lounges, and Charlie was there, being an ambassador in the lounge. And Monks went, do you know what that is over there? I went, oh, shit, it's Charlie George. And I felt like that little child, you know? It was like, I got this feeling in my belly. I went, because it had been documented in the Shoot and the Match magazine or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I'd always said he was my hero and whatever. I don't know if he ever knew. But Monks went, go and say hello. I went, yeah, okay, I will, but... And then, obviously, I bottled it a little bit. And then when I decided I was going to go, he'd gone.
Yeah.
So I never got to meet him, which I regret.
Was that quick?
Well, yeah, he was still faster than me.
Yeah. It's not saying much, though. Wait, with a pint or
not with a bud.
Yeah, you just had to finish your beer before you went over to him.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. You could have been sharper.
It's okay, I thought we were having
then, like I said, with West Ham, we won 3 years on the spin there, which was... And they were a good team at the time.
Yeah.
It was great playing at Highbury. I had one of them pitches that curved in the middle, you know?
Yeah.
If you stood one side
yeah,
and somebody stood the other, you could only see half of them, you know?
Yeah.
Goodison was the same when I, played there, when I made my debut.
Yeah, show that to the flat earthers. So when you watch City and Arsenal, though, deep down, like with this game coming up, though, is it really just about football, or is it like is there something like picture it now? City score or Arsenal score? What is it like?
I'm more City.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I'm more City because I have a different love. It's a different love.
Yeah.
You know, Arsenal for me are not competing. If things were closer, I don't feel like an Arsenal fan. I'll tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I really, there's a disappointment there. I'll always stand by them, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'll always hold my hands up and say I'm an Arsenal fan. But there's a disappointment right now. The fact that they don't compete anymore, it's like being an also-ran. And my love for the teams that I played for outweighs, outweighs my desire for my team I support.
Yeah.
But
to do well. I'm more disappointed with the way the team's demised and not really found the answer and picked up.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not moan about them all the time. I don't believe they have the right personnel out there. I think they've got the nucleus of something that could be okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying, if they were winning, would I love them? It still wouldn't change my love for West Ham and Man City and Bournemouth and Carlisle. It wouldn't, and Everton even, I think I tend to skip Everton a little bit because it was my learning stage. It was my apprenticeship and schoolboy apprenticeship. Going back to, I'd get the bus outside Nan's house and it would take me 10 minutes to get to the training ground. So I'd get the bus to train, and it wasn't oh, my dad's going to take me and all this. I got on with it by myself, you know?
Yeah.
But it was jump on a bus, get off, go and do my jobs. You imagine getting in there, and every morning I went in, I had 13 pairs of boots to clean. In my first year, I was on one of the first team room's boots. And imagine, like, the way it is now. Back then, it was like somebody would have Adidas contract, but wouldn't like the Adidas boots. So they'd have Puma boots, and I'd have to tear the stripe off the Puma boots or draw them in black.
Oh, really?
And then paint 3 Adidas stripes on them. Honestly, that's exactly what it was like.
Yeah.
And when the shirts, when the
was it that, or is that just a Scouse Adidas boot?
And when the numbers were peeling off the shirts, like behind you,
yeah,
we'd have to use tape and tape them back on.
Yeah.
So when they were going on the telly or whatever, you know.
Do you feel? Sorry, that's not how I want to start that sentence. Do you feel like you would actually still have Arsenal as your number one if Man City weren't doing as well within the last decade or so? Like,
Arsenal's the team I support.
No,
right?
I know, but like, let's say, like, I mean, you got so many teams that like you appreciate, and I'm the same. I mean, obviously not that I played for them, but I appreciate good football, and I would rather watch good football over anything. But do you, like I just said,
I had my time at Arsenal, mate. We had the Invincibles, didn't we? So
yeah, of course.
So
yeah.
I was still loving them, but they played proper football.
That was
back
2
then,
decades
mate.
ago.
Yeah.
When Wrighty was there, and Merce and Tony Adams and Stevie Bold and Lee Dixon and Winterburn, Seaman, you know, and then he went through with Vieira and Petit and Henry and Bergkamp, mate. Look, I had my moments with, but if you think, when you come to appreciate them type of players, and then what we've got today, Ozil doesn't give a shit. Xhaka, dog shit.
Aubameyang, no. Aubameyang could have fit in that.
Yeah, but he can only do so much with what he's got.
Right,
yeah, but what I'm saying, they've got the nucleus now. They've got the nucleus now. I mean, look, I can even go Mertesacker.
What
was he? Mertesacker.
Oh, okay.
Was he a footballer? A World Cup winner?
Yeah.
Was he a footballer? Mate,
remember when he scored against England?
Yeah.
For Germany?
I've seen Milk turn faster.
And he's captain them.
It started to go downhill like that from then. And they've never found a back four again.
I mean, I always loved Koscielny. I thought he was always one of the top.
Oh, Koscielny was the last decent centre half they had. Yeah.
He left on a bit of a sour note with them, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, that was a bit weird. Yeah,
went to Bordeaux.
You don't know what happens behind the scenes. Yeah, when you got someone like that, who's a vice captain underneath someone like Mertesacker.
Yeah.
And then your star player is Ozil, who doesn't care.
Well, didn't he? He went through something with France as well, though, didn't he? At the same time,
all the French players went through something like that. Yeah.
That's Evra,
Nasri.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So anyway,
let's talk about West Ham.
Yeah.
Let's talk about West Ham.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I don't talk enough about the Hammers.
I know. That's what I was going to say. So here's a good thing. Here's a good sort of answer to your question, right? If City weren't doing as well, or if Arsenal were doing better, would he feel the same? So West Ham, look at them. They're a top 10 team, and I love West Ham as well.
I can't believe they're in a position they're in.
Right, but yeah, exactly. You feel, I'm sure from how I know you've reacted, you feel more. How do I put this? Like, Arsenal are dropping, and it's sort of like, okay, Arsenal are dropping. West Ham are dropping a bit, and it's like, shit, like, West Ham need to get back. I still have the love for West Ham that I have for Man City. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's up there or down there. The teams you played for.
Yeah.
And especially, mate, look, I had 9 years. It's 300 games. I only had 120 or so for Man City.
Yeah.
And it was... Just to sit back and look back on it, when I think I had times with West Ham, but even the relegation years was still good for me. It was still, I said I would change. I wouldn't get relegated, but
yeah,
I wouldn't swap being in that fight with that bunch of players, because it does something for you, I think, as human beings.
Yeah.
To actually be in that scrap every week. Don't forget, you turn up on a Saturday, you have to go out in front of your own fans who you've disappointed anyway because you're down there. So every result for them, which goes on to the fact that they are supporters. So this is them like you are City, like you are Chelsea, like I am Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's us and who we support. It's different when you play. So they are support. This is their everything.
Yeah. It's their escape from work. It's their everything.
Their religion. Their everything, right? It's what they live for. So when you know you're out there and you're failing them people, especially when you mix amongst them during the season, and I mean, that was the biggest thing for me. Was I wanted supporters to know that I was just another person.
Mm-hmm.
I was every bit the same as them. You know, I supported a team, but I'm playing for this team. But I love this team like you love this team. And when I fail, you get upset.
Mm-hmm.
So it was on my shoulders. You know, and there's a responsibility that you feel that's different to being just a regular supporter.
Yeah.
You know, I'm disappointing so many people. And I did feel like that some games and some seasons, in fact. But my thing was the people in the dressing room and my teammates, you didn't mean to be bad. You didn't mean to fail. You didn't mean to fall down. West Ham fans, like Man City fans, and I don't think you would get that many other places, understood that if you gave your maximum effort, they would accept whatever happened, what the consequences were.
I mean, go on. Sorry.
No, mate, what I'm saying is the two clubs are so similar until the breakaway, until City pushed on a little bit.
Yeah,
I couldn't have picked. If I did pick, I couldn't have picked two clubs so similar, with their staunch support and the shit that they'd both been through for all them years, but still came and still followed and was still loyal.
Well, it's funny, isn't it? You see a lot of even modern day players going from one to the other. From West Ham and Man City, there's quite a lot of links. You know, Zabaleta, Joe Hart, Tevez.
Bellingham? No.
Keep going back, Stevie Lomas, Kevin Orlock.
Yeah, Lomas.
Trevor.
We were talking about this the other day.
You say Joe Hart, yeah.
Joe Hart, yeah.
Trevor Sinclair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but I know.
Nasri.
Nasri. I know. Nasri. I know because of that. There's a link between the clubs.
Right.
Because
they understand.
The supporters appreciate each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
I know there's a link.
Yeah, they just. I think they just support football first and foremost. Like when we were at Upton Park and the Etihad, and when we were mixing with the fans, I wasn't outside the ground. I wasn't comfortable enough telling people like when we were having a drink, because obviously people recognize you the closer we get to the stadium, and you know you get like.
You didn't want to say you was my son.
No. I mean, no. People recognize for some reason. Like me and Jordan, which I think is weird.
But you got the same nose,
No, definitely not. But and you'll get hounded by like 15 people, and there'll be some people talking to me and Jordan, just having a lovely chat about football, diehard West Ham fans, diehard Man City fans. And I have no problem telling those two groups of people that I'm a Chelsea fan. You know, they always ask me so which?
But you'll have a problem telling them you're my son.
Yeah,
yeah, that's where he draws the line.
Yeah, exactly. No, but they're like, I mean, they're normally the first question is why, and we end up talking about football. I tell them why I got into them, and they're like, I appreciate that. You know, that's. It's not like I started supporting them when they had money. You know, it's like they respect good. A good supporter, you know, that's what they care about, you know.
Well, you know what? I have a link to Chelsea though, Conor. I didn't realise all this time with both clubs, because my last ever game for West Ham was a 2-1 win at home against Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise we've done this, and obviously I know you're a Chelsea fan, but I'd sort of forgotten You know, it was something that pained me at the time.
I wasn't born when you were still at West Ham.
You had a hand in both goals as well, didn't you?
Wait, it pained.
I don't know.
You did,
Wait,
yeah.
Beating Chelsea pained you, or me growing up a Chelsea supporter pained you?
No, it pained me that it was my last game.
Oh.
And I didn't know it was my last game.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You know what I mean?
I was getting disowned then.
No, I didn't know it was my last game. It's sort of the move to Man City came up after the game. Now,
I remember.
That season, I'd been on the bench 23 times and only got on the field 3 times. So I wasn't happy with Harry. You know, we were having fallouts because I thought I should have been playing, and that I actually started that game. And maybe if I'd have stayed, I may have started the next one and the one after, and things may have been different. But I wouldn't have got to go back to City and do the Wembley thing and create something for that club. So I don't regret it, but what I do regret is I never got to say goodbye to the fans.
Yeah.
I never even took my own boots to Man City. I drove away in the night down to Port Vale to meet Joe Royle and chat with him about signing. Once I got the phone call, it was Man City.
Yeah.
And you know, I had another 1-year contract on the table for me testimonial, which would have seen me to 10 years. Who was to know what would have happened if I'd have stayed?
Yeah.
It was tainted in a way because Harry had sort of said, well, you know, we'll give you the year, but don't have any functions.
Yeah.
In other words, don't make any money.
Look, it was, you know, and we don't praise you much on this podcast. That's not what we're about.
I think we praise you too much. To be fair.
You have in the past, yeah.
We need like an explicit content coming up. I think it was the right move though, because you wanted to play football, and I think that's the pure footballer inside you. And also, you're a little bit of a rebel sometimes, you know. So you were like, you know, anyway you could give the 2 fingers to somebody, not the club, of course, but just somebody who's not letting you do what you want to do. You wanted to play football, and you know.
But at the same time, I understand he's a manager. He's got a job to do.
Exactly, yeah.
I have the same thing with Howard Kendall. I understand and respect and love Howard Kendall.
Yeah,
Man City fans don't love him because he sold me from Man City.
Yeah, you always said how you would go down and play football rather than just sit on the bench. You would go.
Of course.
You would drop a league.
I dropped 2.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter how much loyalty you have to the club. If the manager doesn't like you, he's the one in charge. You would rather drop a league or 2 to go. Yeah,
play. but you know what I have, Con? I'll be honest with you. You know, I there's not many trophies in my cabinet. There's not many England caps. You know what I mean?
I didn't know you had a cabinet.
That Foster's a bit too big for you, son. Okay. See if you can down that in one.
I'll still down it quicker than your 12-ounce bottle.
Yeah, really. We'll see about that. We'll do it live, okay?
Yeah,
we will.
Sorry.
We will. We were talking about this.
I'm sorry, I interrupted a
nice
moment.
I
forgot now.
There's not many trophies in your cabinet, but you did.
But when I know I can go back to Everton, and people will be nice with me. I know I can go to Carlisle, Bournemouth, Man City, or West Ham, and be treated like a lord.
I mean, even when we're in,
I must have done something right.
Even when we're in Liverpool, getting a taxi from Canny Farm to town, the taxi driver will be told, the first thing he goes, because he kind of recognizes our half American accents, and he goes, they
kind of piece it together.
Yeah, you like football? Yeah, and it hits about.
But they're
like
so
10
nice.
Minutes.
It doesn't matter if they're
best people on the planet.
Liverpool or Everton fans. Even.
Yeah,
it's just,
exactly. Whether they're Liverpool or Everton fans, they know you play for Liverpool. I mean, they know you play for Everton, but you're from Liverpool, and they eventually piece it like 10 minutes before we get into town. They don't want to drop us off because they want to ask us more. They're like, "Oh, I had your dad I collected your dad as a kid." Yeah, and it eventually gets to, and obviously we're not
from the
pub.
I collect them. Yeah, exactly. I collected them from the precinct the other night.
One thing I wanted to
from from the bingo.
Yeah.
The grafting.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back, and you were talking about the fans, the West Ham fans specifically, about how they were there supporting no matter what. I was reading an article on the West Ham website the other day about how you were in the FA Cup and you lost against Nottingham Forest, County. Forest or County?
Forest.
And the fans still ran on the pitch, and you lost 4-0, I think it was. 4-1.
That was the FA Cup semi-final, mate. That was my dream shattered.
Yeah, but you lost, and the fans still ran on the pitch. And
but we lost. Tony Gale got sent off after 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And we battled on. We had the post in the first half, should have gone 1-0 up. We had the post in the second half, should have gone 1-0 up. We end up, once we go a goal down, we end up chasing it. And I'll never forgive everybody who organises that shit. Us and Forest, two footballing teams playing at Villa Park on a fucking sandpit. And then you've got Tottenham and Arsenal in the other semi-final. Playing theirs at Wembley.
Yeah.
Oh, Cockneys.
Which is everyone now, which I think...
What's wrong with Cockneys?
What you two, Cockneys?
I don't associate myself with it.
Privileged. You're privileged.
I hate how...
Let's play our one at Wembley. Let them Northerners go and play on a sand pit.
I hate how everyone in the semi-final now plays at Wembley. I feel like Wembley's a final.
Yeah, it takes it away. Mate, the game's, the cup's gone. If you'd have been born maybe 10, 15 years earlier, mate, and the FA Cup final it started at like 7:30 in the morning. And it was the day everybody, even if your team wasn't in there, it started for everybody. Yeah. It was the build-up to it, the interviews, the seeing them in the suits. And that was every boy's dream, to walk out of Wembley and lift the cup up. And I was captain that year, and that's what I was thinking about. It was the only thing I was thinking about. And in 20 minutes, a referee, a fella called Keith Hackett, knobhead.
Find him.
had ruined it by sending Gailey off. It was absolute shambles. And this is what I'm saying about, even after the defeat, it had been a while, I think 10 years or so, since West Ham had won a trophy. And it was going to be that year, I thought. And,
do you think the ref had something to play in it, or do you think he just thought he was the centre of the stage?
He was just shit. His decision was just shit.
Yeah. Oh, just an idiot.
Full stop. There was nothing.
You didn't think he was like, I'm the centre of attention, I'm not ref.
I don't know, maybe back then refs weren't what they are today.
I mean, you knew his name.
They weren't going to the gym and puffing their hair up and all that, you know.
Getting hair plugs and that.
Getting a fake tan.
Getting transfers to Saudi Arabia like Mark Clattenburg.
It wasn't like that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Google Keith Hackett, you'll see him.
Yeah.
He was like Benny Hill.
But what was now
if get around the field though.
Now, if a team dropped out of the semi-final, I don't see the fans running on the pitch. What was the...
No, mate, what it was, I think it was they understood with 10 men that we battled. And like I was saying earlier, it wasn't just... even when we got relegated, it was like, if they knew you'd all battled and you'd tried, you'd give your everything.
Yeah.
You just weren't good enough. They would understand that because they understood football. So, I mean, look, we say, look, Liverpool, East End, Newcastle, Glasgow were the same people. We're the same working class people who live and work and breathe football. It's the same. You can go anywhere and
you're the best fans. Yeah.
Yeah, you relate to each other.
You missed Manchester out there.
I know, but it was never.
Area,
it never used to be named. It wasn't. It wasn't named back in the day. It wasn't the same. The northern bit was Liverpool, so which is where I grew up and obviously where I learned my trade. But to get knocked out the way we did and shatter this little boy's dream, it was. I still haven't recovered, and I don't think I ever will.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever will. Being so close to Wembley, and like I said back in the day, it was in May, it was everybody stopped. The whole country stopped. And I think the whole world stopped for the FA Cup, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
People in other countries will tell you, we watched the FA Cup final, and it was everything. And to go and see somebody kiss the cup and lift it up at Wembley. I mean, I did get to see Andy Morrison do it in the League Two playoff.
Yeah.
I was right behind him, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
It was still a great day, though.
Yeah.
Still a great day. I did eventually get to play at Wembley.
Probably, yeah, but that was probably better in the sense of the momentum it provided City, you know.
Well, we didn't know then, did we?
No, but
we didn't know. Just the day itself and the way it went.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what it kicked onto.
Yeah.
Just the thing itself, the way the day was.
Yeah.
It was, I still look at the pictures now and it makes me smile, mate. Like,
yeah.
You know.
I saw something the other day. Someone posted a picture of that day, and it was, "This is why I'll never leave a football game early." You know.
Yeah. There you go.
If you did,
the best picture I have of that day is we're all bowing down to the fans.
Yeah.
We're all in a line, bowing down to the fans.
Yeah. You know, I've got a scarf.
Some good arses on that picture.
Yeah. I've got a scarf and a flag from that day. I actually need to put up.
Should be up there, mate.
Yeah, I know.
I've found a flag as well, but it's a little bit moth-eaten.
Yeah, no, I've got one. I had it up in the last place, but and the scarf, but I've got to get those up. Great memories. Not that I remember too much, or we remember too much, because we were young.
I mean, we
7, but
used to make us sit down and watch all the videotapes anyway. So I always remember.
Yeah, but I remember bits.
I
remember bits of that day. You know.
I mean, I don't.
I remember bits of that day. We were in the box. I remember. Mum.
Kanye was only 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
He was only 4. Yeah.
And I was.
Yeah, I was
6.
off at the local pub, not watching the game. Yeah.
Well, we did the next day after it. I left you in the pub, didn't I?
Yep. Did you?
Do you not remember?
Yeah, we had to pour pints the whole day.
I had like 9 pints that day.
I stayed over. We went out. We went out with the neighbours, and it was bank holiday because we played on the Sunday. It was bank holiday Monday.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I should have been there with the boys. I knew Dickie was having a barbecue.
Not your boys.
Yeah.
No, not well. You were me boy. Yeah, obviously you've always been me boy.
Yeah, I think you.
But to share something with the lads like that, I didn't go on the team bus, which I think I should have done.
Yeah.
But the next day, I said, I've got to get back there, and I jumped in a cab and went to the Euston station.
Yeah.
And left you in the pub.
Yeah.
Not just you two on your own.
Yeah.
It's actually
you left us with the weirdo in the corner.
Yeah, this is actually coming back to me now. This was in the second half of the Dickie episode we did in the third or fourth hour of it. It's now coming back.
I'm never going to listen to it.
Yeah.
I heard us getting drunk in the first part, and I thought, nah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to the second part. And the Trev one, I couldn't even finish the first one.
Yeah.
but going back to the West Ham fans, what they did for the whole of the second half, even when we were 4-0 down, they sang Billy Bond's Claret and Blue Army. Constant. Like 25, 30,000 West Ham fans in, I think it was the Holt end at Villa Park, just sang constant for the whole time.
Yeah.
I've never been in a football match where I knew and I was that conscious of what the fans were doing.
Yeah.
You know, for the whole time. There's a disappointment in you when you're running around. And to be fair, they toyed with us a little bit once we went 2-0 down. We chased it after 1-0 down. And with 10 men on a sand pit, they toyed with us a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wasn't a 4-0 game. It wasn't that close. It wasn't that much of a... It was closer than that. But it looks bad. And they stormed onto the pitch and they picked me up and was carrying me off.
So speaking of the FA Cup, I think they're still trying to figure out how they're going to finish it off, and obviously we'll keep the updates coming. Not that we're exactly cutting edge with our news here, but we'll talk about it when it gets back to it, because I'm sure that'll be an interesting one. They've got to fit all those fixtures in with the Premier League. I think the Premier League's aiming to end July 25th, actually. So.
I think they're going to find once they get up and running and things are running smoothly. I think they'll speed it up and whiz through things.
Yeah.
I think the initial coming back is going to be the hardest bit, and I thought the German league was going to excite me, and the first couple of games I wanted to watch it, and it was great, and now I'm like,
yeah,
I don't give a shit again. It's like back to normal already. You never feel like that about the Premier League.
Never.
I think I've said it in the past. I don't watch the Spanish league, the French league.
Yeah.
You can read bits about Neymar and what's going on in the Bundesliga, and it just doesn't excite me at all. It doesn't. I just can't bring myself. I can't lift myself up to be excited about it. I was excited about the Germany because it was the first to come back, and within like 2 weeks, I'm bored already.
I feel the same way. I mean, one game we're planning on watching at the weekend is Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen on Saturday. But even then, it's like, Is
Bayern Munich at home?
I think so. See, I don't even know. If it was the Premier League, I'd know.
Let's see if the stats keep working out, because they're saying there's only been 3 home wins in 22 games or something.
Yeah, that's how they're spinning it,
they're trying to say it's because there's no home fans there.
Yeah. But it wouldn't work out like that. You'd think that it would work out even, wouldn't it, if that was the case? But talking about the Premier League, you'd watch any games. I mean, I watch every Premier League game I can. It doesn't matter if City are playing or West Ham are playing or not.
There's a meaning to every game.
Yeah. So you talk about we spoke about Man City, Arsenal, but we've also got Villa and Sheffield United on the 17th as well. Now that game has big implications for both teams. You've got a team struggling in the relegation fight, and then you've got a team fighting for Europe. So, anywhere you go.
It had bigger implications when they said they were going to finish the league, because Villa had the game in hand. They could have come out of the bottom 3, I think, on goal difference.
Yeah.
But they're not going to win that game. I don't believe that you don't go the whole season through, and then all of a sudden you think, there's one game because we've got it spare that we would have won that game.
No.
Yeah, I mean, especially towards the end, because we were talking about this earlier off camera when we were talking about there's certain teams that aren't going to be fighting towards the end, where you got your 10th through 15th, who aren't going to be really going like.
Well, is Arsenal 10th?
Arsenal's 9th. Yeah, 9th, and they still have a
and they
spot
won't be
Europe.
fighting.
But like you said, Villa are trying to get out of relegation, but Sheffield United are also trying to get into Europe for the first time ever.
I don't know the history on that, but
Wednesday were bigger than they were.
They were the big team in Sheffield.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure this is the first time ever, even if they make Europa League, that first time in Europe. So.
Well, look, it's the first season back in the top flight. They've done enough anyway.
Yeah, almost done.
But they're still in with a chance. They can still make Champions League.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean,
if they win the game in hand, they're only a couple of points behind Chelsea, I think.
All right, so that's the Premier League coming up then. But one funny thing I wanted to bring up too is the Danish league. They're doing drive-in game watches. So in the field next to the stadium, they're doing it's a drive-up thing up to the screen. And I'm thinking
a drive-in movie, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm thinking in the Premier League, it changes the definition of derby to crash card derby. That's a joke I prepared for this.
You mean Demolition Derby?
Yeah.
Demolition Derby, yeah.
Me and Dad actually went and...
You should know the word Demolition Derby because it's synonymous.
No, yeah.
I know. With
That's how terrible the joke was. Dad, remember...
I was thinking about it in the bathroom.
Dad.
I took a run at Demolition Derby.
Dad, remember?
What a knobhead.
I know. Remember when we were in Virginia and we went with those the Belgian guys?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
And we went and watched one.
That's Demolition Derby, yeah.
Yeah, we went and watched one, and me and Dad were like, "What the fuck is going on?"
All right, but you get my point.
We thought it was a race, and people started smashing into each other.
All right. You get my point, though. If they did that in the Premier League. You couldn't have a drive-up screen view of the Premier League match.
Why don't you just say, bring all your beers and everything in your car?
You'd have the firms coming in
and get together, you know.
Yeah. All right.
But the Danes are more civilized.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was funny.
They would adhere to the rules, actually. I think.
Yeah, that's why they're able to do it. But I don't think that would work in the Premier League. So I just wanted to touch on that and completely butcher the joke. Anyway, looking forward to football being back. Well, we've got another podcast or two, I think, before then. We'll hopefully get it. We'll have a guest lined up in a couple of weeks. Another guest. So
instead of me, you just. So you don't have to hear me spouting shit.
Yeah, someone who doesn't drink friggin' Smirnoff Ice out of Stella glasses.
Off camera like that.
Come on, we've got to get like a petition going about this because...
I had 2 buckets of beer today.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. You called me at 3 p.m. today. Like, absolutely off your tits. Thinking we were going to start the podcast. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I think you called
me. But then you called me 4 hours later and you were sober. So I have no idea what happened. But you took a nap, you ate some bread.
A magical sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, anyway, it's been another good one. I'm not surprised. A lot of jokes. Thought my
bad jokes.
My Demolition Derby was butchered.
Shambles.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a comedian. But anyway,
you're learning, son. You're learning. Yeah. You'll get there.
Anyway,
hang around me and Connie for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, not him.
We'll see about that. Anyway, guys, make sure you go to 5pintsin.com. Follow us on all the social media. Give us a like on Apple Podcasts and all that shit. So
Apple what?
Apple Podcasts.
Oh.
Not Apple Smirnoff. We still don't have that sponsor. I will also say we'll have a few shirts up in the on the website pretty soon if you guys want to check those out.
You're really putting us under pressure now.
Well, it's me who's under pressure, isn't it?
I'm the designer.
Yeah, clearly with
Don't look at the website then.
Yeah, clearly with that hat and that Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it was great talking to you. Great as always. All of yous. The two of you and everyone listening. So, all right, guys. We'll talk to you next time. Cheers, guys.
So